Morning, guys. It's about 6 a.m. Got something I want to work on today on this potentially hot day. Let me show you what I got. Some of you are asking, how do you drive down hills from some of the steep locations that we're at? Well, my answer to that is you basically stab the brakes every so often. Otherwise, you get brake fade. So you're coming down a hill and you get to a certain speed and you want to slow down, you slam the brakes on and then let off them, and the whole process starts over again. So something Seth Jacobson pointed out is that you can put a pack brake on these trucks. I had no idea. I had to do some research because I wasn't sure if the motor could handle them, but apparently the motor can handle them just fine because they put them on all the A1 version LMTVs. So I ordered a kit, about every freaking component you could possibly think of that goes with the CAT 3116 mechanical. So we got the brake here. I ordered some extra V-band clamps here in case I need them. I don't know what I would need them for, but I ordered them just in case. It came with wiring and a relay and a switch and a fuse block and all these doodads. This high pressure air line that goes to a solenoid that goes to activate the pack brake. Some weld-on stainless steel fittings, a throttle position switch. That's about it. I read through the instructions. I have a WTEC 3 ECU, so I had to go on their website and track this down because they don't have this in their instructions. So in order to get the WTEC 3 instructions, you have to either go to their website or go to the Facebook LMTV page. I uploaded it to the files section. But this is for people who have a control pad that only has one number on it. It doesn't have two numbers. It's just got the single number on it. You would have a WTEC 3. So just a wiring diagram that shows you how to wire that into your system. I guess the first thing we'll try and do is see if we can get this thing mounted in a somewhat reasonable fashion without having to do too much fabricating. I got everything taken apart, so we've got a blank slate, but the way that they want this mounted is like this, but that's not gonna work because there's an intake that runs there. So what I'm thinking, and from what I see other people doing, is they just chop the 90 down and put it right here. And so I'm going to do the same thing. So this is going to involve some cutting and welding and all that fun stuff. So we'll get that going. I got the first part done. It'll kind of be mounted in there like that. I still have to do the down pipe. That fits in there pretty nice like that. And then I'll have to reattach the bracket down there somewhere. So now I have to deal with this section. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to get it mocked up and tacked. Alright. Got the pack brake mounted in there. Let me go underneath it. It's easier to see. Kind of how it sits. There's a little tab on the back that won't let you rotate it all the way, for me anyway. I'd have to take apart the downpipe and cut about an inch off of it to get it to clear, but this will work fine. You just have to get a air line connected to that and then to the solenoid, and then it's just a bunch of wiring that's probably going to take me the rest of the day. So I'll just keep moving forward on that. Here's that little nub that sticks out that I was talking about. You can kind of see it up there. The bracket mount is in the way and I still have to put that on, so. Alright. Got everything mounted back in here. It fits, the intake isn't in the way. I reused Oh, this is going to be really hard to see. I reused the existing factory exhaust mount, and I just ran some bigger grade 8 hardware through there. That is really hard to see. I'm so sorry. Kind of like that. Let me go from underneath here and you can see it much better. I can find my creeper. So there's the original bracket right there, and I was able to reuse that, so it worked out good. And it does clear the Pacbrake. It kind of looks like it's touching, but there's a millimeter of space in there, so that's perfect. And then the other side, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Oh, yep, there you go. So that part's done. Now it's tying in an airline, one of the dry tank airlines, which would be a brake line. And I kind of have an idea of a hack on that too. And then getting the wiring done for the WTech3 Allison controller. So we'll get started on that next here. Morning guys, this is day 2 of the Pacbrake exhaust brake install. It got a little warm yesterday, and I have heat stroke residuals from the Marine Corps, so it gets pretty uncomfortable for me in any temperature above like 80 or 85 degrees. Aside from that, did get all the welding done and everything before it got too hot out, so that was good. Let me show you what I got going on here this morning. So I also had to double check yesterday on some of the wiring that I wasn't too sure about. I wanted to make sure the voltages would be correct for this application, since we have a rare version of the Allison ECU. It's a 7-speed. Also, this is what I have left. You got a solenoid to put in, throttle position sensor switch. I'm gonna try to avoid using this. This switch is about as ugly as they get, so I don't think I want to use it if I can avoid using it. So got a relay and some fittings to install, and this heavy-duty airline that goes to the actual Pacbrake. So I'll take you along with every step and show you what I'm doing, so you guys get a better idea of how this system goes in. A little update for you here, guys. I decided that this area right here is going to be where I mount the relays and the solenoid. There's the WTech3. I think it's WTech3. Sure looks like it to me. ECU. These fittings are a pain in the jingle jangles to make up. So one tip that I can give you is use a Dremel to grind down the nylon jacket on it, and then use your ratchet on the fitting to screw it on, and then you should have enough inside here that when you push this in, it'll create enough pressure to make the fitting work. And I went through the existing rubber grommet, has a bunch of holes that aren't used, so I grabbed one of those holes and basically just ran it along the inside of the frame rail. See it sitting up there all the way back to the Pacbrake. Put a little medium blue thread locker, Loctite on the fitting that came with it, and threaded that baby in, and then just tie wrapped it all the way back where it came from. Start working on the rest of these components next. Pacbrake, if you're watching, I want to know where that part is. I ordered a CAT 3116 mechanical kit, and you sent me this stupid noodle switch. I hate this thing. I finally got it installed, and it's just a pain in the neck. So I mounted it down here, and basically what it does is it interacts with the throttle linkage. So when you press it, hear that click? It shows that it's at 0 throttle, so the pack brake will engage. I hate this thing. Why didn't you just include the piece that I ordered that goes on the governor? This thing is, I don't know how reliable this thing is going to be, but we'll see. Here's another hack I found for you guys. So this solenoid requires dry tank air, and it uses a little 1/4 inch fitting and 1/4 inch DOT airline. They give you about, I don't know, 3.5 feet of it with the kit, which isn't a lot. But if you guys have done this upgrade, you know there's an auxiliary port right here, correct? So all you need is a 1/4 inch NPT to 1/8 inch NPT fitting to reduce that down to the fitting that they gave you, and voila, you've got your dry tank supply line. And I'm hoping it's long enough to go behind the heater there and then hit the other side of the passenger area. That's where I want to put everything for this pack brake. Alright guys, I got these Allison plugs pulled down, and I did some research on the internet. On the bottom of your ECU here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but there is a CIN number back there. I don't think you can be able to see that. Maybe I'll get lucky. So you see the CIN number there, it's 0800. So anything that starts with 0800 has been pre-programmed for exhaust brake. Now if you look at the wiring supplement here, it's going to have this wire 132 and wire 119. Those don't apply to your vehicle if you don't have an exhaust brake already installed. So in the kit, they include these 2 wires to snap into these plugs. So on the gray plug, you'll see you have, come on camera, you have a V3 and an S11. What that corresponds to is on the back of these plugs, you're probably not going to be able to see this, maybe. There's a bunch of numbers, 1 through 32. So on the gray plug, they're asking us to use number 3, which I believe is on this side. Yeah. Let me see if I can get you a shot here. These tiny little numbers are going to be really hard to see. Come on, camera. You see them? There's 3 right there. You see how it's blocked off? Need to pull that little rubber plug out and stick one of these pins that came with it. And then on the other one, the black plug calls out for S11. And that's going to be see how they're numbered? Oh, this is really hard to see. Okay, there you go. You see 11? It's got a little blue plug. Got to yank that baby out and drop this pin in there as well. Those tie into your wiring diagram here with the WTEC 3. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. I've got the little throttle slinky looking position sensor thing over here. That's this wire. This is the air line for the air supply. Got the solenoid. Gonna figure out a way to mount this, and then I got 2 relays to wire up All my power is available right here. I'm going to use an existing switch that's in the ammo can to turn the pack brake on. So everything's going good. I just got to buckle down and finish up these last few things. Well, I got everything wired the way I think it's supposed to be. I'm not going to button this up until I take it for a test drive and see if everything works. So let's go for a test drive and see what happens. Well, it definitely works when you let out the accelerator. Let's head down. Notice it downshifts and the keypad says 3. It's hard to tell if the exhaust brake portion is working though. I can't tell. I was highly unimpressed with the pack brake after that drive. So I came home and checked all the wiring, and lo and behold, pack brake sent out that stupid throttle spring sensor switch. Try to say that 10 times fast. In the normally open position. It's supposed to be normally closed when you let off the accelerator, and it goes back to its resting position. So I switched that around. I adjusted it a bit more and I mounted it in a different location so there's no interference on it, and cleaned up the wiring and closed everything back up, and now it's time for another test drive. Love going for a drive at rush hour because it pisses everybody off. All the people that are working get angry that there's a big truck on the road. I don't get it, but whatever. We're going to head back up that hill and test the pack brake at that hill again. We're taking a turn up here on a flat stretch, and I'll turn on the pack brake and let off the accelerator and see if it does anything on the flat. Holy moly. That slows down the truck. I didn't even have to use my brakes. That's crazy. And it makes cool noises. It sounds like a spaceship. I'll let off the accelerator right here. Check this out. Alright, we're going to go up a little hill here and turn around and come back down it. That'll be it for testing this at the end of this video. Finally, it took all day to get the dang thing working because of the stupid error on pack brake's part, sending out parts that aren't set up the right way. Alright, just got to the top and turned around. Let's head down. Not using the pack brake right now, so this is kind of what it does when you don't use it. It just starts picking up a crazy amount of speed, as I'm sure you guys are aware. And then you have to stab the brakes every so often. No good. Let's turn the pack brake on. Oh, buddy. This thing is aggressive. Makes me nervous. That's a lot of stress on the motor. Oh boy. Going down a, probably like a 3% grade. Step on the gas here and it turns off. So actually brings the speed down nicely. Not too aggressive, but works. Into a steep section here with a sharp turn on it. See how it does. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I like that a lot better than the first time we were up here. Much better. Coming up to the steep section here, really steep. Oh, that's nice. I didn't even have to hit the brakes at that section. And it's still slowing the truck down to 15 miles per hour right now on the steepest section of this road. 14, 13. Holding 13 miles per hour on the steepest part of the road. This is pretty awesome. You can hear it exhaust. When I step on the accelerator, it turns the pack brake off. Back to about a 3% grade here. We're coming to another sharp turn. Oh. Man, that does nice slowing the truck down. Nice. That is a nice safety device. I like it. Now I know for sure it's working because it's really slowing the truck down this time. Alright guys, that's probably going to do it for this episode. If you like this and learned something, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. We have a lot of fun on this channel and I want you to join me having some of that fun. So, but other than that, I'll catch you guys later. Take care. See ya. Bye-bye.